I want to keep this fairly quick today because, yeah, I've got somewhere to go too. Um, but yeah, interesting little headlines. So this is mostly, there's a headline today. You can find it on Washington Examiner, New York Post, Fox News, some other outlets. Of course, like CNN, NBC, ABC, MSNBC are not running it because they favor the establishment party right now. So, here in America, if you're not American, basically here in America, we have the Democratic and Republican Party, and they switch off, who the establishment is and who the opposition is. So, the point to this video is the establishment party, being the Democratic Party right now, holds the most public offices in the federal government. They could really use a distraction, a huge distraction, something like an alien invasion, or more appropriately, a fake alien invasion that the public believes in. So I think this is something they'd absolutely love to do. People have been talking about this for 50 years. Werner von Braun told one of his, kind of junior associate scientists that he worked with, Dr. Carol Rosen, that, the broad plan for, really humanity, for globalism was once the Soviet communists went away, then we would all be told to be afraid of terrorists. Once the terrorists went away, it would be the rogue states. And once they went away, we'd have to build weapons to fight asteroids. And then after that, it would be an alien invasion, but, it would be a fake one. So globalists would love to do this right now. They're very desperate. Their plans are falling apart. The scamdemic narrative and the needlecraft campaign is all falling apart, and even the Ukraine war narrative is falling apart. So they need us to be afraid of something. So they would like to have some sort of a fake alien invasion. They have to be very careful. So what they're doing is they're testing the waters. They're putting their toes in the water to see if it feels right. So just today, it came out that there was a draft research report from an office at the Pentagon called the Aero for short, AARO. So Aero. It means All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. So all domain means they're responsible for tracking objects under the sea, in the sky, and in outer space, because that's the narrative with these so-called alien ships, is that they can come from outer space, fly in the sky, and then dive into the ocean, or vice versa. They can come out of the ocean, fly in the sky, and go into outer space. And there's been this whole thing where the U.S. Navy has been releasing videos of fighter jets chasing these UFOs. But really what these are aircraft, spacecraft, whatever you want to call them, built by the aerospace, the weapons companies. So we're talking Lockheed, Raytheon, Grumman, Boeing, people like that. So companies like that. So yeah, I think what they would do in the event of this fake alien invasion is, if they weren't just doing a straight up blue beam and projecting images into the sky, then they would roll out into the public view all of these advanced aircraft that have been developed really since the end of World War II by the deep state globalists. So anyway, this office, this Pentagon, this U.S. Department of Defense office, Aero, directed by the scientist Sean Kirkpatrick. Look this guy up. He looks like a little kid. He looks like a little kid in it, wearing his dad's suit. He's got like, I don't know. He looks like a little kid with a goatee. Like he's wearing his dad's suit. The way he does his hair. He's not very not very dignified or distinguished. Not really a face you can take seriously. And his co-writer, I don't like this word author. I don't think these people have authored anything. So Mr. Sean Kirkpatrick's co-writer, co-author is this Dr. Abraham Loeb of the Harvard Astronomy Department. So they cooked up this paper, this research report, and they said that an alien mothership entering the solar system could release dozens or hundreds of probes to explore the Earth or planets in the solar system without us even knowing it. And we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared for this eventuality. So, yeah. So what I think is going on here is they're just testing the public to see if people are going to buy this before they roll it out. They're doing a litmus test. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy this. If you want to laugh, go to NewYorkPost.com, find this article, and read the comments. It's fucking hilarious. People are not buying this shit. The people who got the initial needle craft, but then have kept their boosts current, most of these people will believe this if they attempt it. So, but you're not going to have half the population believing it. So I think this is going to flop, but they need to know if it's possible because the economy sucks. The war in Ukraine narrative is failing. The scamdemic narrative failed. People aren't getting the needle craft and the boosts and numbers that they were expected. These people are going to lose their power, and these little shit stains who are basically their errand boys like Sean Kirkpatrick and Abraham Loeb. They're scurrying around trying to help these high up globalists maintain their power. It's kind of pathetic, and that's an interesting little sidebar here is in the Washington D.C. area. So you get this Sean Kirkpatrick, Irish American. There's a very interesting type of Irish American in the Washington D.C. area. They're like little whores for authority. So some of these people they'll tell you, they're all about Irish independence and being a rebel and da 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 da. But then they're like totally enamored with, British royalty and the British aristocracy. And, it's a simple case of a narcissist who wants to look cool to everybody. They don't know what they stand for because, they're empty shells. So, yeah, this Sean Kirkpatrick, this guy's name, makes me think of these people, these basically lackey type Irish Americans in the Washington, D.C. area. They're not all like that, but they're there in great numbers. They just want to suck up to the highest possible person on the pyramid that they can get access to. So, yeah, like I always say, I've been a nerd my whole life, but this guy, he just kind of looks like a nerd that's being manipulated. And you can manipulate certain types of nerds who've been picked on by giving them power and authority over people and by giving them access to special secret information that most people can't see. So this looks like a clear case of a resentful nerd being manipulated. But like I said, I've been a nerd my whole life, so I'm not bagging on nerds. I'm just not trying to get revenge on people who, looked at me cross-eyed decades ago. Fuck them. Or just forget about them. So yeah, that's what's going on here. And this Sean Kirkpatrick, he was chief scientist at DIA's, so not CIA, but DIA. DIA is Defense Intelligence Agency. Defense Intelligence Agency's Space and Missile Intelligence Center. So DIA is an interesting organization. CIA is an insane, it's not so much an intelligence agency as it is a covert operations agency that does all kinds of crazy shit all over the world. DIA is really a bunch of desk jockeys who they write papers, they read a lot, they study things. it's like a bunch of university professors kind of sitting around, and they like to hoard information and not share it so they can feel special. So it's a bunch of 80-pound heads that think they're cool. Yeah. So interesting timing with this whole thing. Like I said, they're just testing the waters. In this Arrow, this agency, this all domain anomaly resolution office. So they're there when something strange gets sighted in the ocean, the sky, or outer space, or a combination. They're responsible for tracking it and figuring out what it is. So, an anomaly is something unexplainable. So they're there to clarify and explain the unexplainable. So this office was started in July 2022, fairly new. And really, within what, 5 years, a little less than 5 years, on the heels of the discovery of Moa. Oh, is it Oumuamua? So Oumuamua is it's Hawaiian for scout. So in October 19th, 2017, the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii found this massive, sort of like flat, kind of cigar-shaped object out on the fringes of the solar system. So basically like a cylinder, but flattened out. And this thing was moving away from the sun, so it wasn't being pulled in by some gravitational force. It was moving away from the sun, and there was no cometary trail. It wasn't leaving a trail like a comet. So this led experts, these experts were always getting bossed around by, led these experts to believe that it was an artificial object. It was not created by nature. So, there's been all kinds of speculation that it's some sort of alien ship and blah de blah. And it's like, well, probably not. Or maybe. I think they're definitely extraterrestrials, some other dimensions. But this whole alien thing, it's a big psyop. So if there is some object out there, it's probably just something we didn't know about. And as our consciousness changes, we find new things out in space. So every time we find a new planet, it's because our consciousness expanded and changed. So that is my idea of Oumuamua. Not an alien ship, but something we weren't seeing before. So yeah, these people would love it if we would believe that it's some sort of mothership and it's sending probes or even an invasion force here to Earth or just into the solar system in general. So, yeah. I think most people watching this are not going to believe this, but if these shitheads try to pull something like this, just remember, it's just one more thing for you to be afraid of so they can tell you what to do. And it's because the whole control grid is slowly collapsing and they want to maintain it. Now, the timing's interesting. So if you caught, I think it was my last live, it was about the collapse of the 9/11 era wave function. So we had this 20-year period started in 2000, 9/11 at the beginning, in which the Earth was a giant fear festival, a giant paranoid fantasy fear festival. And about 2015, that zeitgeist started to collapse. Right around the time of the Trump phenomenon. So in 2017, we were in the middle of that Trump phenomenon. He's no saint or no savior, but unconsciously, he served a very significant role in helping, the post World War II world, the World War II after party, as I call it, the years from 1945 on with, the American dream, all those delusions like that. All that was collapsing, and Donald Trump was basically the unconscious herald of it. So 2017, that collapse of that mentality, of that American dream, post-World War II mentality, was well underway. And this is where we find this giant cylindrical object on the far reaches of the solar system. So yeah, these people would love it if we believed that it was an alien mothership. Don't hold your breath on that. But, you know, read about this, make comments where you can, where these articles are posted. Make videos about this, because it's like I've been telling people. If you don't want this whole fake alien invasion to be rolled out and, have a significant part of humanity geared up to fight some bogus war, then start talking about true resistance and your fear to it. A lot of people will be like, oh, I just wouldn't video. Oh, my hair's a disaster. Just fucking do it. All right? Or don't bitch about the world you live in. Because the more people talk about this online and, rave about it and bitch about it and ridicule the whole idea, it'll get shelved because they will have enough data suggesting that not enough of the population is going to buy it. And they will never get to the point of trying to roll it out. And if they do get to the point of rolling it out, one way to make it more convincing might be to, hit a couple cities with some scalar weapons, a neutron bomb, something like that to get our attention. So let's not even let it get that far, which I don't think it will. But use your voice. That's how the world will be changed. It's not going to be by some heroic savior special operations people conducting, some sort of assault on the Illuminati central complex. That's not how the world's going to change. It's going to change from all of us having some balls, using our voices, and just not cooperating anymore with these globalist assholes. So get out there and start talking about this. I think that's it. Have a good one.